My name is Ariel Niu. I talk about self and social dynamics, and today we're going to explore the concepts of self-energy and true confidence. How to become skillful, how to get to know our energy in order to be truly confident. So, what is self-energy? Our energy is a dynamic combination of our thoughts, our emotions, our intentions, and our state of being. And we each have our own unique ways of how we engage, interact, and work with our thoughts and emotions, if you think about it. Each one of us react to our own thoughts and emotions in different ways. It's really how we react to our thoughts and emotions that create our energy and the way that we behave and interact in this world. And if you really break it down and see yourself as this conscious soul, you're just consciousness, you're just there. And thoughts come in, emotions come, and it's about how you are interacting with them, how you are engaging with them. So to get to know our thoughts and emotions in a more intimate way in order for us to become skillful with it, in order for us to not be victims of our thoughts and emotions, to be able to hone and guide it, to learn how to balance them, because it's also not about forcing. The practice is this balance of becoming more intimate with our thoughts and emotions, and at the same time being more objective with our thoughts and emotions. Everything in life is a balance, but this practice is that balance between the contrasts. And when I say get intimate and objective, I'll be breaking down practices for this, but just know that it's more so in your energy. It's the way that you're approaching your thoughts and emotions. And it's this ability to allow your thoughts and emotions, to be with them, to not force or push or resist or suppress, but at the same time, being able to be okay with all of them, even in the midst of more intense and darker emotions. This ability to allow, even feel it deeply, be with it deeply, but at the same time have the space of course it's going to pass, or this is going to help me understand myself or help me towards my intentions more. And intentions are really just directed thoughts and emotions, either consciously or subconsciously or unconsciously, because we're literally living through our intentions in every single moment and every single day. Even if we're doing or experiencing something that we don't enjoy or we don't want, we're still creating and moving forward with that current experience through our thoughts and emotions. We can't always predict and control what happens to us in our day-to-days, but we can control our responses and the way that we think and feel about things. And it's always within our own intentions, what we decide to think and feel about the things that happen to us is directing our next moment, our next experiences in life. And your state of being, and it's really our physical state of being, our mind, body, spirit. Your state of being will be influenced by how you're thinking and feeling. However, you can work with the body to calm down more so that it also influences your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. They're interconnected. What are our outer expressions? Dude, I've been practicing enunciation for so long and some words still trip me up. So our outer expressions include our facial expressions, our body language, our words and delivery, obviously, and our presence and our behaviors. It's how aura points. We see people, we're gauging their energy. How are you gauging their energy? You're gauging it through their body language, their facial expressions, their presence, their behaviors, their words, and their delivery. At this point, you can already see that it's coming through our self-energy, though, because people that have good energy and are very confident, their energy very magnetic, very charming, they're not thinking about each component here. They're not thinking, okay, my outer expressions, this, my body language. Maybe sometimes they'll remind themselves, oh yeah, take a breath or keep your posture upright. But when they're in flow and when they are magnetic and charming, it's how they're flowing with their thoughts and emotions and intentions and inner state of being on the inside that translates into our outer expressions. Where many of us get tripped up, and I get tripped up on this all the time too, are the nuances of this. And it's within the nuances, understanding the nuances is where we will really start to say, holy shit, it really is our self energy influencing our outer expressions. Once we understand the nuances, it becomes super clear. And when I say nuances, it's really just realizing that it's not what we want, it's how we are being. And our being is really our energy. So one nuance example would be going into something with a superior energy versus a humble, confident energy. I talk about superiority and inferiority so much in my content, and this is a great example. When we go into an interaction and we feel the need to be superior, we feel the need to prove ourselves, we feel the need to show people how confident we are, then that's going to come off as superiority. And oftentimes when we're feeling superior, we're actually masking inferiority. And this is where we will experience things that we get triggered by or we get upset by because we're feeling like we're presenting ourselves in a certain way, but why are the responses that we're getting not matching up? But you can see even in the way that I'm describing it, when we put on the superior energy, it's force, it's resistance, it's putting a lot of effort in. It's not mindful, it's not demure. So, and then when we're humble confident, and humble confidence more so just, you can still be super confident in yourself, but it's more light. And it's true confidence. We're going to talk about true confidence, but it's a way of being. It is what it is. When we're truly confident, it's light because of course it is. And when we're truly confident, we're also not going to be triggered by people so easily because we're going to allow, and we know how to let things be or respond. So that is a great example of a nuance in energy. Another example of the nuance would be feeling grateful versus feeling entitled. And this could happen when we're interacting with others, but often when we're by ourselves. These nuances are something that we can start to understand when we're just by ourselves, how we are thinking and feeling when we're by ourselves. And if let's be real with ourselves. If I'm being real with myself, I have been entitled. Well, we all have. It's really easy to feel entitled. And when you feel entitled, it's a lot of times it's like, I deserve this. Why hasn't this happened yet? I deserve this. Or this, I put in so much work. Why isn't this happening? This kind of force, strain, self-righteousness kind of energy. And it's okay. We're human. We have moments like this, but again, this is what we're learning. When we understand that we got to let go of this entitlement energy, and then we can get into still the same intention, still the same goals we want. We can still feel like we deserve this, but it's more of, I'm so grateful for everything I have already experienced, and I'm so grateful that my intentions are coming, and I'm looking forward to all the opportunities and whatever happened just now, instead of me just reacting, feeling really triggered and then getting into that entitled energy. It's more, okay, maybe it wasn't the best occurrence that happened, but instead I'm going to be curious about it. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to meditate on this, and it's going to be okay. You might have to work through that entitlement energy, but this is why we just get to know what's going on first, and then we can be compassionate with ourselves as we work through these things. But understanding the nuances really will be our turning point. I'm going to show you guys two ways or two approaches. One approach is recognizing the nuances when we're by ourselves and how to shift them. And the second approach is recognizing nuances when we're with others and how we can shift them. So we always want to start with the self, because we are the being that we're interacting with the most all the time. But we forget about this, and we forget that we're also interacting with ourselves. We're also responding to ourselves. And we start to monitor ourselves, the way that we are going through our every single day, every single moment. If we're working on things with ourselves, or even just making small decisions with what we want to do today or whatever we want to choose, if in the moment we're carrying some sort of force, confusion, fear, anxiety, worry, resistance, sense of lack, then whatever we're doing is going to also carry that energy. Sometimes it's really hard to accept this because, for example, if we are trying to figure something out and it seems like the outer world is making us more fearful of it or more anxious of it. For example, This is a great example, personal example of mine. When I am, because I'm living more spontaneously and nomadically right now, where I travel often and I live in different cities for months at a time. So I'm more conscious of my accommodations and my flights. And a lot of times there are a lot of unpredictable factors with these decisions and when to book things, what to choose. And in the beginning, I used to be very forceful, rigid, and scared with my decisions and thinking I need to have everything in order. And if something is not solution, I just put more force in it. I put more worry to it. I want to figure it out. It's a lot of force resistance. But then now, the way that I approach these things is I am intentional. I decide what I want. I know what I want, and you play with your confidence and courage with your intentions more. So I just become very clear. And to become clear with our intentions is also to really look at the roots of it. Like, why do I want this thing? And is it really going to be helpful for me? When I fully feel good inside and out with my intentions, they always happen. But there's also this dance of I got to be both intentional, decisive, be very conscious and present of opportunities that come to me in my everyday, but at the same time, be okay, be patient, let things happen, be curious, navigate direct throughout my experiences. And it's okay if certain emotions and thoughts come in and out, but every time it does come, I just tell myself it's okay. And the more I do it, the easier it becomes. It actually gets in, you actually start to just trust the universe more. And you start to realize that it's not that hard. You just have to be clear about your intentions, know the roots of your intentions, and whenever it does come to mind, just review that again and be decisive with it, and then just let it go and things will happen. So recognizing these nuances when we're by ourselves is really just recognizing wherever we are putting force, resistance, sense of lack, or fear with our self energy. And becoming conscious of these nuances when we're with others, it's the same thing. We just have to be even more conscious of this game of balance. And because when we're interacting with others, there's also other people with their energies happening at the same time. So the balancing act, the balancing game is dynamic. We got to just be conscious. So we got to be conscious and present in our interactions. And we got to catch these things coming up live, triggers coming up live, and learning how to respond to others from a place of balance too. And the balance includes not dipping into superiority and inferiority, but still playing in that spectrum. I talk about this a lot in my content, but being very confident with ourselves, but also being gracious with others and just going like this throughout the interaction. But things that are more nuanced would be like, let's say we are in a social gathering and we want to present ourselves and we want people to like how we are presenting ourselves. We want to feel like we're getting recognized for our entertainment value. If we are able to remain in this flow energy and be charismatic without overthinking things, we're just going with the flow, and we catch a story, we just run with it, and we're conscious of our energy, then it's going to be that. But if we start to overthink and overworry, or as we're doing it, we start to feel like, okay, I need to force this a bit more, or are they listening to me? The moment we start to become too conscious of what they're thinking and feeling, and we start to feel like we need to structure whatever we're doing and we need to force it, or some sort of thing needs to come this way, then we're going to lose it. For example, if you want someone to accept and like you, but you think, I need them to see how great I am, superior energy, or I'm worried that they're not going to see these things, even though I want this. That's inferior energy. And a lot of times we're doing both. We can be both superior and inferior. If we're focusing on the force, the need, or the concerns, the worries, that's what we are creating more of. If we're just like, okay, I like this person, I want them to like me too, but I'm just going to be my best self. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to know what I want to say. I'm going to be present with them. I'm just going to present my best self, and I'm going to show them that I like them too, but in a way where I'm not attaching and forcing. Then naturally that's the energy I put out, and that's going to be the energy I receive. Just remember, relationships and interactions, even with ourselves, it's a dynamic blend and flow of caring and detaching, intending and letting go, feeling good and then feeling chill and okay with it. You can feel something, you can want something really deeply, but then you surrender and let the universe work its magic. Because in any single realm, if we care too much, it will start to become attachment and negativity. If we care too little, then yeah, it's going to be passiveness and apathy. So it's going to both ends, but feeling it and then going to, and then letting go, feeling it, letting go, and then also caring. It's always a dynamic practice, a dynamic flow of balance. So now let's define true confidence. The way I see it is true confidence has 3 elements: certainty and clarity, embracing all emotions, and balanced expressions. So it's really just about becoming clear and decisive in who we are, what we want, where we're going. And that's just being intentional. That's part of our self-energy. It's about learning how to set intentions every day, being more intentional in our everyday, being more intentional in our every moment, being more intentional when we're with others. And sometimes the intention can come in the moment. It's just us being able to decide and going for it without force or push. And our intentions remain open too, because the moment we start to become forceful or it has to be a certain way, then we're losing true confidence. But with the unknown, make the intentions of solutioning for that unknown. Actually, that is a huge point. That is how we deal with the unknown. With things that scare us or confuse us, we either decide what we want instead, or we intend for the solutions to come to us. And we don't need to know everything. Life is always unknown. There's always so many unknowns. We decide our intentions and we stay open to opportunities and we stay curious when unexpected moments come. And we just continue to refine our intentions and continue to follow the path of what feels truly good to us, what feels comfortable for us, and what also challenges us in an exciting way. So again, it comes back to just becoming very intimate with our energy, our thoughts, our emotions, our intentions, our state of being. The second element of true confidence is actually embracing all emotions. If you're out with someone, if you're just interacting with someone, you will be more impressed if they're able to tell you what they're working on in life and what they might be trying to figure out, and their moments of anxiety or stress that comes through their experiences, but at the same time they know what they want, they know where they're going, and they're okay with it all, and they're excited for things to unfold, versus someone who is speaking about their aspirations and they're just masking and pretending everything is always okay. You can feel that within people. So just know that true confidence is actually our ability to be vulnerable about our emotions, but in a honed way. We want to watch out for the superiority and inferiority imbalances, but it's our ability to embrace and allow all emotions. And this is connected to what we were saying earlier, our ability to accept emotions, become intimate with our energy, but stay kind of objective at the same time. And the objectivity is more so for us to just be able to be cool and chill and feel good no matter what happens on the inside. Even feeling the negative emotions. That's why expressing the emotions is the same practice as when we're by ourselves and we're embracing our emotions. We can feel it, we can even express it to others, but we're going to try to not get into these woe holes, inferiority or superior state where we're rejecting it and we're complaining about it and we're pushing it away. We're embracing it, but we're learning from it, and we're allowing it, but we also know it's going to pass and it's going to be okay, and it's probably going to take us closer to our intentions. Especially the more intense we feel, there's something there to look at and to grow from. So very important element, embracing all emotions, being vulnerable with them, but from a place of balance. And speaking of balance, this third element is balance expressions. If we push too far on any one realm, being being so assertive and confident in this sharp way that it starts to become aggressive. And when it starts to become aggressive, then it'll likely become more forceful. And obviously, if we're confident, but we're also like, I'm okay with whatever happens and I'm chill and I'm open and things can just happen, but we lean more and more into this, then we start to lose our certainty and clarity, and we start to over question and we start to overthink, over worry. So when we're by ourselves and when we're with others, in all my experiences, it's best to balance and stay fluid, being very assertive and direct and confident and intentional and decisive with our confidence with whatever it is, but then flowing to softer energies too, being open and curious about how things can happen. So, and this applies for any type of confidence. When it's confidence with us doing something we're good at, we're also balancing, we have moments when we're just like really in it and we're showing our confidence, and you can even show off a bit. But then we relax into our skill and we're just, it is what it is. And that is more attractive confidence too. So it can be our skill set, but it can also just be our energy. When we're presenting ourselves to others, we flow between sharp and soft kind of confidence. So we feel good about the confidence within ourselves, and others perceive it as good too because we feel good about it, and it's balance. It's not staying in one energy too long, so it starts to become imbalanced and forceful, or superior and inferior. So lastly, I'm going to speak to the practice of balance when we are mastering our self energy. The key is this practice of acceptance and refinement at the same time. Acceptance and refinement, we balance down, we dynamically flow between it at the same time. Always being aware and conscious of everything that's happening, and accepting who we are right now as we're getting to know ourselves. Again, sometimes the self-love journey, sometimes this commitment, sometimes starting to take this journey, starting to walk this path is scary, because we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to look at ourselves. We have to be honest about how, and the more we understand self-energy, the more we see that it's us. Even things that we dislike from the outside world, it's something to do with us within. So the more we face that, and the more we see all the areas that we can refine. And again, it's not rejecting ourselves. It's just seeing how we have become through our conditioning, through traumas, and through positive experiences too. But seeing ourselves honestly right now, accepting and loving it, but at the same time being disciplined for self-improvement, for self-actualization. And it's your choice. We can definitely live however we want. So if you want to stay the same, or if you don't want to think about anything too much, go ahead. But most of us have major dreams and aspirations, and we want to experience the best we can in life, and we want to actualize and see our potential, not only see our potential, but meet our potential. See what we can do in this mind, body, spirit thing that we're all in, and we have this vehicle, and we have our unique identity. What can we do with this? So we want to be able to be completely honest with ourselves, with everything that's going on right now, everything that we have come to be, and start to become very intimate with our self-energy, really start to look at our thoughts, emotions, our intent, the way that we intend things, how regulated or unregulated we are, our state of being. And this also comes with mind, body, spirit wellness and self-love. Sometimes scary things come up about ourselves. And it's in those moments, that's literally when we practice acceptance and refinement at the same time. We accept everything we see in our every moment, and we're going to meditate more. We're always going to meditate every day. So in our meditations, we're going to notice things. We're going to notice things about ourselves and our experiences. We're going to take notes. We're going to make intentions on what we want to practice, what we want to improve on, and we're going to commit to it. That's why it's refinement too. We're going to be disciplined with ourselves. We're going to recognize the things we want to improve, and we're going to put in practices for that. If we want to improve our speech, our presence, our delivery, maybe we're going to book a one-on-one coaching session with Ariel. Maybe we're going to record ourselves through video or audio, hear ourselves back. We're going to do whatever we can, or ask for the universe for opportunities, and recognize the opportunities and seize the opportunities when they come. Because in the end, everything we would like for ourselves, including our self-energy and our outer expressions and everything, it comes with practice. And the practice in the beginning might be more effortful, might take some time, but that's the journey. So a good mantra to keep in mind for all of this is there's no rush and there's no time to waste. When we remember this, then everything that we experience, we will carry this natural energy of both acceptance and refinement. We're not going to waste time just victimizing ourselves or feeling doubtful or feeling superior. We're going to be there now, recognize everything that's happening all the time, accept it, but also be aware that every single moment is a brand new moment, and I'm not going to be a victim, and I'm also not going to be self-righteous, but this next moment I can be exactly how I want to be too. So I don't have to rush. It's always all good. I'm always all good with myself, and I'm compassionate when things happen. But at the same time, I don't have time to waste. I don't want to waste no time, but in a way where I'm not rushing. It's that sweet balance, that sweet spot. And when we carry this and we balance both energies at the same time, this is how we can experience the highest possible ecstasy in our everyday. Remember, there's no rush. It's all good. And there's no time to waste. And we can do it all while enjoying our everyday. Keep this in mind as you continue to go on your self-love, healing, self-actualization, social confidence journey. And I will be there with you every step of the way.